People. Joel Benjamin 528, aka Big Money Benjamin. Salute to the international audience. Salute to the domestic. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna jump right in. XRP and Stellar named in DOJ Epstein files as count it, as $7 trillion. Gold and silver crash rocked the markets. Listen, like I said, let me just share my screen so you see what I see. We're going to get into first China. China is in turmoil. China got their own civil war going on. In case you don't know, the CIA, the United States government, the branch, CIA, was able to infiltrate Xi Jinping's best friend, right-hand man. It's number 2. Yeah. So that happened. All right. So there's turmoil going on in China right now. But there's also turmoil on Chinese gold and silver because certain, exchanges, I guess that's the better way to put it, that's dealing with silver, all right, and gold, they're in an uproar. They suspended trading. Not only that, I reported this on one of the last live streams that I did about gold and silver, how people was rushing, and like how they did how they do runs on banks. They was doing runs. Yeah. They was doing runs on this spot. I'm just going to show you. Let me stop talking about it. Better I could show you than I could tell you. Let's see. Let me share my screen so you see what I see. Check this out. Oh dear. This is a real video. A private online gold exchange platform in China. I'm not going to even pronounce that name. I know I'm going to jack it up. I'm going to spell it for you though. JIEWORUI is facing a growing crisis after users reported being unable to withdraw cash or retrieve physical gold they had purchased. Look at the pandemonium. Just look. The problem surfaced after gold prices surged sharply on January 21st, triggering heavy trading activity before accounts were suddenly frozen. That is going to happen in America on gold, silver, and copper, and palladium, and platinum. Mark my words. They are not able to manipulate the price forever. Remember, look at this. These people, in China, normally they don't be wanting to get arrested. They not trying to hear this no more. Remember, always remember, they're selling us paper gold and paper silver, and they don't have the physical to back it up. This is even going on in China. Look. Victims from cities across China say the platform's capital chain. Their capital chain has broken, with alleged losses reaching as high of, you ready? 133 billion yen. That's approximately in US dollars 19.1 billion dollars. Look at them. It's pandemonium. Because those people out there, they buy their gold and silver. On January 27th, more than 100 affected users gathered at the offline counter of that business in Shenzhen, Shubai. I know I'm jacking it up, but y'all could read it yourself right there. Gold market demanding refunds. Videos show police maintaining order as confrontations broke out. Yeah, you damn right. Listen, look at this. Listen to this part. The Juwario, I really wish I knew how to pronounce the name of them. But anyway, has proposed partial compensation of around 20. What? Am I reading that right? 20% of users' original investment, but many have rejected the offer, fearing they may lose everything. You're damn right. How you out of 100%, you want to give me 20%? When we make a deal? No, I don't think so. Authorities have yet to announce whether a formal criminal investigation will be launched, leaving thousands of investors uncertain about the fate of their funds and gold. You know, China government was down with this. They do not play. All of a sudden, they not launching no investigation. They at least got to come up with a fall guy. Look, you hear the people not playing. You gonna come up off that gold and silver. You gonna come up off of all that palladium, that platinum, that copper. You're going to come up off of that. All right? This is what's going on. Look, they gotta take away people, pick them up like, yo, it's real. And y'all not realizing how this market is crashing. As always, you know it. JP Morgan Chase is behind it. I don't care what nobody say. Silver dump was done by JP Morgan Chase, and I've got proof. Let's see what the proof you got. A COMEX report says JP Morgan, y'all know who the COMEX is. That's the exchange, or if you want to call it exchange, that's the branch that's dealing with America with all their silver and copper. And they be having gold, but they mostly focus with that silver, right? The COMEX reported, the COMEX report says JP Morgan closed its silver short around $78. Silver went from what? Hell, you can't make this shit up. Silver went from $121 to $74, then settled around $78. That's the exact level. That timing isn't random. Now, connect the dots. On December 2nd, 2025, the U.S. bank had 17,838 silver future shorts. That's 85.19 million ounces. At $121, that's a 10.8 billion in short national in short notional, that one fact expands a lot. This is the same play you see in crypto. They push price to pull leverage in, then they dump it into thin liquidity. Stops get clipped, longs get liquidated, then the cover happens into the panic. This is not good at all. And now trust is breaking. Trust, I don't know how y'all ever had trust in it before. Anyway, people don't know where to park money anymore. Dollar is dumping. Gold is dumping. Stocks are dumping. Crypto is dumping. Bonds is dumping. Well, guess what? You got to put it somewhere. You got to put it somewhere. Okay? Watch the following. I've studied macro for 10 years and I called almost every major market top, including the October Bitcoin BTC all-time high. Look, JP Morgan closed its silver short. Look, JP Morgan, you can't make this up. They was treating gold and silver like meme coins. Do you understand that? Do y'all get what I'm saying to you? They was treating gold and silver like meme coins. This is the proof right here. You are not able to say it doesn't exist. Look, it's right here. They created the short. So now that we know this, because of course I told y'all this is going to happen, which they gave you the opportunity to buy back the silver on a cheaper level. The biggest institution in America that holds the most amount of silver is who? JP Morgan Chase. Told y'all that. They already got caught and had to pay the biggest fine. Watch this. In case y'all forgot, let me refresh your memories. JP no. There we go. JP Morgan Chase. Oh, come on. JP Morgan Chase pays major fine for manipulating the precious metals market. All in real time for you. September. There we go. You see this? In September 2020, JP Morgan Chase agreed to pay over $920 million in penalties to U.S. authorities, the largest fine in CFTC history, to resolve charges of manipulating precious metals and U.S. Treasury markets. The bank admitted, I'm going to repeat, the bank, JP Morgan Chase admitted to 8 years of spoofing by traders to artificially move prices. Okay? This was from since 2008 into 2016. All they did is say, we about to do our big one. We not playing. And mind you, by them doing this recent one, because this is spoofing. Let's call it what it is. By them doing this recent one, They just saved the lives for maybe a few more days, maybe a few more weeks, maybe a few more months, depending on how the people are going to react. They just saved the lives of so many banks right now that was about to be eradicated because the price of silver kept going up. They said, oh no, they made the call. They said, nah, I know we got fined for doing stuff like this before. That was the past. This is the present. But we got to think about the future. Okay? Okay? It's like my video that I played before when I said when people can't get crypto. All the banks got together and it was like, oh, damn, what we going to do? JP Morgan said, find a way. Find an effing way. We're going to short the hell out of this. We're going to sell up all the silver that we have, the amount that we're going to bring this sucker down, and we're going to get our money back from short $7 trillion. And they didn't just do it to the silver, they did it to the gold. So they did it to silver and gold. What? At this point, what are we doing? What are we doing? Are we not catching on to what's going on? Do we not have comprehension anymore? Huh? So Bitcoin is crashing, Ethereum is crashing, gold and silver is crashing. So let's go down the list. We got Bitcoin crashing, Ethereum crashing, gold crashing, silver crashing, S&P 500 crashing, NASDAQ crashing, platinum crashing, banks crashing. Even the dollar, the US dollar is crashing. I need y'all to over, under, inner, and understand this. The market is crashing, people. Everything is crashing like I told you it would. This is your buying opportunity, especially if y'all missed out. I gave y'all the way where y'all could get the cheapest silver, gold, platinum, and copper. I'm going to put it up for you again. So there's no excuse. And I'm going to put it in the description as well, and also as a pinned comment. Okay, here we go. There we go. So y'all got it. Y'all should have been signed up. Even if you don't pay nothing, you sign up to Course Metals. So that time when it comes around, because remember, you got certain exchanges, sites that's dealing with these precious metals, they're not taking anybody. Okay? All right. Moving on. In other news, just in, this is how you know China is on. Listen, China just made it. Before I read this, I need y'all to understand. China just made it where you ain't got to pay the capital gains tax and this and that on your cryptos and whatnot. Now China turned around, bans ownership of Bitcoin and crypto again. You cannot make this stuff up. China been doing this back and forth and back and forth, which caused panic in the market. Every time they do this, it causes panic in the crypto market. And they run, and people fall for it every time and sell the same way how they just fell for the gold and silver. I'm not selling nothing. They're reporting gold and silver to go up to what? 500 by second quarter. They're doing their best to manipulate the silver's market. all them banks and all those other institutions, financial institutions, was about to be in trouble because they're giving y'all futures, gold and silver that ain't really there. And not only that, they're starting to do that with the Bitcoin spot ETF. And not just the Bitcoin spot ETF, all these other cryptos as well that they're looking to come out with a spot ETF. They do not have the actual digital amount of digital asset that they say. Same with the gold and silver. They don't have the amount of physical. So when people like you see China making a run for their physical, it's causing chaos. They're sending China now in a spiral. For China to now come out with this right here, they're in a spiral. All right? I need y'all to understand that. So Chicago's Metropolitan Capital Bank and Trust was this year's first bank to fail. Yeah. Y'all ain't hear about. There's a lot of stuff going on in the news y'all supposed to hear about that y'all not hearing about. We're going to do this in real time. Chicago-based Metropolitan Capital Bank becomes first bank to fail in 2026. The FDIC will manage remaining assets and estimates a $19.7 million cost to its deposit insurance fraud. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corp, which is known as the FDIC, said Metropolitan Capital Bank and Trust, a Chicago-based single bank branch leader, became the first U.S. bank to fail this year after regulators shut it down on Friday. Always on a Friday. Did I not tell y'all this? They always do it on a Friday. And appointed the FDIC as receiver. First Independent Bank will assume substantially all deposits. That's the new bank it is now. The new bank that brought them over, that took over. First Independence Bank. So anybody that had the Chicago-based Metropolitan Capital Bank and Trust, it's now First Independence Bank. They will be receiving their debit cards in the mail. First Independence Bank will assume substantially all deposits of the failed Metropolitan Capital Bank and Trust and acquire about $251 million in assets. The former Metropolitan Capital branch will reopen February 2nd as a First Independence Bank location. I don't need to read no more of this. Oh, and there's more banks coming to the failure. So y'all let's go back to the bank failure. So they was blaming the bank failure on this guy, right? Kevin Walsh. They was blaming the bank failure on him and Trump. Because they said Trump named him the new Fed chair. So people is like, oh, they're not worried anymore about the crisis. So they just ran and sold their gold and silver. Let me do that again. I need to get my sound effect machine back. Okay? Garbage. Caca. Trump naming this guy as a new Fed chair had nothing to do with that. And let me tell you something. When this dude when this dude becomes the new Federal Reserve, all right, Board of Governor, the new chair, the head. Let me tell you something. Yeah, I might not be into this. You see this? This man is an Aries. April 13th, he is born, 1970. You know that song, oh, don't you want somebody to love you? That they be putting with the meme and the little anime girl come dancing, and you got the Wojak turning the freaking money printers. Wait, he about to let it rain, and that's Trump's man's right there. He's about to let it rain. Be prepared. Y'all better buy y'all crypto now while it's down. You saw XRP dropped down to $1.52 today. Went back up to 170. Yeah, all right. So we know what they're doing here. Now let's go into where is it? The other news. Oh, sidebar. Just so you know, Barron Trump just sold 260 Bitcoins, BTC. Yeah, worth $284.92 million. Yeah, hold that. Yeah, this one I definitely want to show you. This is for all the haters out there. Massive money rotation into XRP. So now it's up to 165. Okay. While BTC bled $509 million, ETH dumped $252 million, and Sol lost $11.24 million. XRP ETFs saw $16.79 million in net inflow. That's inflow, the money they took in, while everything else around it is dumping. Smart money is rotating out of Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, and into XRP while retail panics. The institution knows something. Look at the chart. Okay? There's the chart. What more could you say? I could understand if I never was showing y'all proof, but come on now. Come on now. Look at it right here. But anyway, let me move on. XRP, just the next, so you could see what's going on. Just more proof. Let me get out of here, because y'all don't really want this work. I thought this was interesting, and because some of y'all gotta get reminded. Friendly reminder that Ripple is financed by venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz. Yeah, Skype, Microsoft, Instagram, Airbnb. Yeah, that's what they deal with. And Peter Thiel's Founders Fund. If y'all don't know who Peter Thiel is, Facebook, Uber, Lyft, and Spotify. Just thought y'all would like to know that. Just thought you'd like to know that. Okay. So, XRP and Stellar XLM So Ripple, XRP, and Stellar XLM was mentioned in the Epstein files. Yes, they were. And you could see in the email to and from to Jeffrey Epstein from Austin Hill, CC Reid Hoffman, who sent 7/31/2014 at 8:56 p.m. Subject: Stellar isn't so stellar. The email reads, "Hi guys, we obviously have seen www.stellar.org, right? Put their website up. This is in the email. This is in the Epstein files, right? This is Epstein's emails. I'm not sure what the relationship with Jed and the team are." That's Jed McCaleb, one of the co-founders of XRP, who is now the founder of Stellar XLM. Let me read. "I'm not sure what the relationship of Jed and the team are. I know obviously some of the players, but this is a problem for us. Would one of these please, would one of you please give me a call at," they redact the number, "I can explain some of the issues, but basically, I've been asked by the other co-founders to reduce or take your allocations away." Meaning, don't F with them. But wait, there's more. "Ripple and Jed's new Stellar are bad for the ecosystem we are building, and it does our company damage to have investors who are backing two horses in the same race. Happy to discuss a fair way to deal with this. Best, Austin." Listen, stop effing playing with me right now. Y'all better stop effing playing with me. The man is saying we need to sabotage Ripple XRP and Stellar XLM. Okay? That's what he's saying. So we could push Bitcoin. Oh, y'all don't know who Austin is. Y'all don't know who Austin Hill is. Was the one that was pushing the company. Because remember, they was using Bitcoin for the child trafficking. I remember in the court, we were sitting down with this officer who ran the investigation and was looking to shut down major components of the dark web. I told y'all this story before. And he said he could have become a millionaire or even a billionaire because he worked in the NYPD task force for cyber crimes. And with cyber crimes, that covers everything: fraud, sex trafficking, everything it covers. Especially once you start getting into that dark web. And that was the first time he ever seen Bitcoin being used. And he said it was doctors, judges, lawyers, nurses, politicians, a lot of them that they bust. And they were just getting slapped on the wrist 2 years, 3 years. If they fight it, they was getting like 20-something years, 30-something years. So Some of them was getting 1 year probation, all that type of stuff. This is with dealing with the photos going back and forth for the children and whatnot. And he used to pay them in Bitcoin so he could get the photos or get the videos of what they were doing with children so they could now create their investigation, because they only wanted to take stuff in Bitcoin. But the reason why he started liking that they was able to use Bitcoin, because Bitcoin have the blockchain, so they were able to tie them after sending the Bitcoin to them, and they go cash it out on an exchange or wherever they use it. Let's say they use the BitPay card and they go make a purchase or sale. They was able to track that and link that transaction with Bitcoin to them. So that's why he used to love that they wanted Bitcoin. He said once they got hip that Bitcoin was traceable, they decided to majorly stop use Bitcoin. But Bitcoin was used for that. That's why in one of the last videos where I spoke about Epstein and crypto, it came out in the Epstein file that Epstein wanted to push Bitcoin and have Bitcoin be a bigger thing. This is before people really knew about Bitcoin. It's in the Epstein files, people. They let you know Ripple XRP and Stellar XLM is bad for the Bitcoin ecosystem. So, let me see. Hold on. Let me get to. Oh yeah, let me show y'all this once again, because y'all need a reminder. Y'all need a reminder. Y'all need a reminder. They're in Mar-a-Lago. They're in the White House. Ripple. This picture in the background got a lot of meaning. Interesting they look to take that picture there. Let me see what's his name answer. There we go. So the former CTO, or is he still the CTO of Ripple? Well, he still works within Ripple. He's one of the genius of the XRP program, right? I don't know of any connection between Jeffrey Epstein and Ripple, XRP, or Stellar. I know of any evidence it's supposed to be, I don't know of any evidence anyone at Ripple or Stellar ever met with Epstein or anyone closely connected to him. There are some indirect ties between Epstein and people connected to Bitcoin in various ways, but that's probably true of most very wealthy people. Yeah. So this bastard was looking to push his Bitcoin company. All right. And that was the problem. He ain't like that. He ain't like that. They had plans for Bitcoin. Now, Trump pardons Ripple board member Ken Kurson. Albrecht Snowden not on list, but Ken is. Okay. Now that's too small for you to see, but when you get chance, this on my page, you could go check it out. Silk Road's Watch Albrecht was not among the 143 individuals to receive clemency from the president. Yet. Let's say yet. Okay? Mind you, this is old. You see, when the article came out, 2021, January 2021, that's when it was published. January 19, 2021. You saw when it was updated. December 10th, 2022. Yeah. Politics makes strange bedfellows. David Schwartz now says, y'all don't know how deep this really goes, do you? I really like Ken Kurson. We met several times when I was on the board. And when he was on the board, my only issue with him is that for some reason he has his own Wikipedia page and I don't. Shocking. And I don't want to hear nothing. Oh, Trump pardoned him. And I've been told you, Trump been in bed with Ripple for a long time. Yeah, you could say, oh, Ripple got sued under his administration, his SEC administration. Yeah, that's true. That is very much true. But you see what's going on now. So you think all this was a coincidence? Okay. So so people is tearing this shit up right now, this news. So BTC is really a dirty pedo coin. We all knew it was. Exactly, we all knew it. Imagine a useless coin used in pedophile activities is the market leader. That's completely hey, yo, I'm just a messenger. So I found this was funny. Somebody talking about what David typos. David, of all people, that can't have a typo in your post/comments. Come on, man. I know of any evidence. You do? Anyone at Ripple or Stellar ever met with Epstein? Yeah, he messed that typo up. So here is a Ripple Swell event. Okay. And your boy Bill Clinton was there. Moving on. It sounds to me from this letter you were targeted because you weren't involved in criminal activity, and Austin was warning Epstein not to support you. Interesting. The very source of them targeting Ripple could be here. That's huge. Yeah. So from the documents I've seen, Epstein wasn't happy that someone was investing in Ripple and Stellar as well as Bitcoin. They called it a problem for them. That's right. It's like you're backing too much horses. He only wants Bitcoin to be backed. Okay? They called it a problem for them to be backing more than one horse in the digital asset space. So it would make sense that nobody in your sphere was familiar. Duh. This goes on high levels. You see, David Schwartz had to answer to this. This is not a game, people. Oh, just in case y'all need to screenshot it. Yeah. There y'all go. All right. Proof that they're telling that Epstein and his cronies with all these different Bitcoin companies, right, was propping up Bitcoin, told to push money into Bitcoin because it was used for their little PDF file, pedo file. Just call it what it is. I ain't going to use no tag words or code words. Their pedophile ring. Thus, why you think Jamie Dimon And who else? BlackRock, Ben was saying it was for criminals. They already knew of this. But if you remember, JP Morgan Chase, let's do it in real time, got in trouble because they knew y'all debanked Trump, but y'all didn't debank Epstein right away after he done got convicted of all this. Then they released him out into the public so he could continue doing what he's doing for a second time. Yeah, JP Morgan Chase in trouble for not debanking Epstein. JP Morgan Chase has faced significant legal, financial, and reputational repersecutions for maintaining a banking relationship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein from the late 90s until 2013. While JP Morgan Chase did not bank with Epstein during the entire criminal career, he moved to Deutsche Bank from 2013 to 2018. So now we got to put Deutsche Bank on the spotlight. The trouble stems from allegations that the bank ignored clear red flags. Let me highlight it. Clear red flags, and continued to service him for years after his 2008 conviction for soliciting a minor for prostitution. Here are the key details regarding JP Morgan's involvement. A legal statement: in 2023, JP Morgan Chase agreed to pay $290 million to settle a class action lawsuit brought by victims of Epstein's trafficking and $75 million to the U.S. Virgin Islands to resolve claims that it enabled his sex trafficking operations. Listen, it's late. I'm about to hit the hour mark. Red flags. I ain't done. Let's keep it going. Red flags that they ignored. Investigations reveal that JP Morgan ignored internal warnings about Epstein's transactions, which included large frequent cash withdrawals. After getting all that Bitcoin, had to make that cash out and move that money somewhere. I digress. Frequent cash withdrawals and payments to young women who were later identified as victims. Internal knowledge. Now, this one I almost forgot. I'm glad I kept going. Despite a 2008 conviction, some senior JP Morgan employees pushed to keep him as a client. They pushed. They knew they were supposed to get rid of him as a client, but they kept it going. They pushed to keep him as a client because he was a high net worth individual who generated significant revenue and referred other wealthy clients. Jess Starley's world. Yes, we're going to keep going. Jess Starley, a former high-ranking executive at JP Morgan Chase who managed the relationship with Epstein, was accused of having a profound relationship with him. JP Morgan later sued Stanley, accusing him of concealing his relationship with Epstein and misrepresenting the nature of his dealings. which was a lie. JP Morgan Chase, they already knew. They try to sue Stanley now to show face. Okay? And sidebar, JP Morgan Chase drug boat got seized. Remember when I reported on this? JP Morgan Chase owns ship seized in $1.3 billion cocaine, nearly 20 tons. Look, in case y'all forgot, JP Morgan been a shady bank. $1 billion drug bust. This is their boat. Okay, this is their boat. Over $1 billion. Stop playing with me. You see, y'all don't want that work. Because when I start giving you that work, that's when people get mad. Remember, it was me and Taj Tariq Bey that came out and gave the breakdown when we let you know that Bitcoin was an NSA program. Beta test coin. Jeffrey Epstein been in the government deeply. They've been suppressing XLM and XRP. We've been telling y'all this for years. The XRP army been saying this for years. And guess what? I know Brad Garlinghouse know about it. I know Jed McKayla know about it. I know Chris Lawson know about it. I know David Schwartz know about it. Stop playing with me. They knew. That's why they've been putting on the good fight. But side note, remember when Jamie Dimon, let me show you why Jamie Dimon, and I don't even want to give this cornball, this F-boy any credit, because he should have just came right out and said it. But remember, watch, I'm going to do this for you in real time. Jamie Dimon said he would fire anybody in his firm that's dealing with Bitcoin. Look, see? It pops up. Yes, Jamie Dimon did make that statement in September 2017 when he was heavily criticizing Bitcoin. Here are the details regarding that statement on his crypto stance, all right, over the time. 2017, at a Barclays investor conference on September 12th, 2017, the JP Morgan Chase CEO called Bitcoin a fraud that was worse than tulip bulbs. Remember back in the days, y'all probably don't remember, you wasn't born then, but if you know the history and finances and investments, you should know about the tulip bulbs. All right. And predicted it would blow up. He added, if we have a trader that trades Bitcoin, I would fire them in a second for two reasons. It's against our rules and they are stupid, and both are dangerous. You forgot the third one because it was used for child sex trafficking and you knew about it. But you didn't want to say that part because you was talking bad about Bitcoin and then help them get Bitcoin. After a while, that's because JP Morgan Chase was doing what? Over in the UK. They were buying up all the Bitcoin mining companies. That was their indirect way of getting a hold and keeping Bitcoin. See, they still wanted that money. The same way they still wanted Jeffrey Epstein's money. Listen, I'm just a messenger. Okay? Don't get mad at me for just pointing out the facts. So that's why we get to find out Warren Buffett, Jamie Dimon, Larry Fink from BlackRock. We get to learn now why back then they was going, see, it's a club. It's a tight-knit club, and you ain't in it. You not in it. You couldn't dream of getting in it. If I asked you to imagine you getting in it right now, you couldn't do it. See, they knew all this was going on with Bitcoin. That's why they was going so hard against it. But they didn't just want to just come out and say it because they didn't want to piss their mans off, Epstein. So everybody's talking this, but now that Jay-Z and Pusha T, Jay-Z, Pusha T mentioned in the Epstein files. And we gonna do, yeah. With Harvey Weinstein, okay? We're gonna do a deep dive on this because now y'all capping. When the last set, the ones before this, so the Epstein files got released, and it showed that Epstein was talking about he know Trump is the one that snitched on him, that caused him to get convicted. Y'all ain't want to hear that. Trump is in the Epstein files. Yes, he is. Then you got to find out what context he was in. Y'all got quiet. Now, Jay-Z is involved in it. Pusha T is involved in it. It's out in the open now. That's a whole nother live stream. But I bring this up. Let me just get off of this. That's a whole nother live stream. Any comments? It is out in the open now. Y'all wanted the Epstein files. Now y'all want to say, oh, that's cap. You notice they got quiet about mentioning Trump in them Epstein files now, right? The only reason why Jeffrey Epstein got caught and convicted the first time is because Trump snitched on him. Y'all want to hear that. Any questions? No? Okay. To get the cheapest gold and silver, let me put y'all on to that. I'm saying at some point, we got to ask ourselves, just ask ourselves, are you stupid or are you stupid? These people ain't playing with us. We done got to find out through the Epstein files that Epstein was the one that killed the Libra token from coming out for Facebook. Yo, and don't forget, sidebar, we got Pusha T, Jay-Z, Harvey Weinstein named the Epstein files. You know who else was also named in it? Elon Musk. But he was named in it where he wanted to go to one of the nasty parties. I don't think he knew what he was bargaining for. But I believe they didn't invite him. I got to read more through it. They didn't invite him. He wanted to be invited. He wanted to go. But I guess they figured they couldn't trust his snitch ass. They're like, nah, leave him. Let him stay over there. And they didn't invite him. So now Bill Gates was in on it. And Bill Gates was getting medication, right? From who? Epstein, because one of the girls that Epstein provided for him gave him an STD. Yes, this is in the Epstein files. Gave him an STD. This is in the new files that got released with Ripple and Stellar being named in the Epstein files. Yeah. Bill Gates caught an STD from one of the girls that Epstein provided. Bill Gates went and gave the STD to his wife at the time, Melina Gates. He Can't make this up. And then he ran back to Epstein, and Epstein gave medication for him and his wife. Remember, they want to keep it a secret. You can't go to the doctor and make a record of that. Yeah. You got to get it over the counter, which ain't over the counter. Yes. I'm now looking at the comments. Sorry for that, people. Yes, Lady Lisa 888 Bacchanal. Okay. True Stoner says, for real, the underground world runs deep. Yes, it does. Webb Williams, thanks for this live. You're welcome. Yeah, all this is going on. Listen, you think this is the only mention of Ripple, XRP, and Stellar XLM with them literally looking to stop it, lock it down? Y'all got to be joking. I got money for sale says, you are the freaking source, at Joel Benjamin 528. Facts. Okay? Facts. Listen, I'm just a messenger. Why you think Bitcoin is going down and being sold off the way it is? Huh? Why you think? Tracy Natural says, Lisa, Lady Lisa 888. I remember during the pandemic driving down Atlantic Avenue and seeing people in, what's that? Hazmat suits, but hearing they were disposing garbage, disposing garbage. Yeah. Listen, when you see what comes out with what was going on during the pandemic, WAG 1, what's this? Omid Washtidi. I know I'm jacking up your name. WAG 1 with XRP and Epstein files. What do you mean, Wagwan? You just came in? Epstein was trying to stop Ripple, XRP, and Stellar XLM. He's the reason why they've been suppressing the market and keeping it down for the longest, because his goal was to push Bitcoin. That's it in a nutshell. Anything else? I'm showing you the extra behind the scene bacchanal on how they was making all that confusion go on and on. Yeah. So it's real. So, and mind you, they still ain't released all the Epstein files yet. Okay? Janie Doe says yes. Okay. Yeah. Is there one more thing I was supposed to show y'all? I think it was one more. What's this? Michael Saylor. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We forgot about this one. I was supposed to repost that sucker too. Yeah, good old Michael Saylor. All right. Michael Saylor is in the Epstein files. Bitcoin is in trouble. Remember when they released this file? Do I need to do a quick dive over that again? It's on my page. It's for y'all. Yeah, y'all go find it on the page. This is from the Epstein files. Okay? They saying, believe they're talking about Michael Saylor. Yeah. Yo, this shit is so funny. They got the nerve to say Michael Saylor is a creep and that he has no personality. You can't. Yo, go check it out. Go check it out. I just put it up there for you. But how you got creeps calling the next person a creep? You can't. Yo, they wild for that. They really wild for that. All right. But Joel Katz responded. You see him responded. Yes. Oh, I got to put this up there too. Repost. So you see, because people going to talk about Trump that, he pardoned one of the Ripper board members. Yeah, okay. It's whatever. It's whatever. He did it and moving on. We are sure to find out, especially the people who start deleting their history and suddenly became very silent. They won't have much to say about the Epstein saga. Yeah, no more. Release the Epstein files. Release the Epstein files. Yeah, you know what? This deserves a repost. Bitcoin is the Epstein pedo coin. Moving on. Moving on. Salute to the international audience. Salute to the domestic. Now, I don't believe Bitcoin going to drop all the way down to zero. It's too late. It's already been propped up and pushed up. But XRP is and XLM is going to go higher. And if I got to tell y'all to buy XRP or XLM, at this point, especially after what I just showed you in this live stream, that they literally suppressed Joel Benjamin 528, aka Big Money Benjamin. Salute to the international audience and salute to the domestic. Look out later on for that Jay-Z, Pusha T, Harvey Weinstein, Epstein files release. Peace. Yeah.